another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due all that dude, the old scrub. Trash. Every person who has fucking trash.
Next game, you're gonna see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game. I'm just totally excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Board. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Michael in the vicinity. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, Brian. You know, it's a nice day out today. Sad about the Yankee ran out, but, you know, hey.
Speaking of that,
night anyway.
I have some breaking news.
Oh, my God.
Zach Meisel of The Athletic reports the Guardians, after careful consideration, have decided to stick with starting pitcher Aaron Savali for today's Game 5 matchup versus the Yankees, who announced yesterday they are going with Nestor Cortez on 3 days rest.
What do you think about that?
Well, first, you know what, Tony? Let's just get right into it. The world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. A back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, nada, where did that land? Stuck to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
All right. So,
All right.
As we just broke to you, the Guardians
Broke
going
what?
as we just broke to you.
Oh,
Like
broke to you.
The news.
Okay.
I'm saying the Guardians going with Savali and the Yankees doing Cortez on 3 days rest.
What a show. What a life.
So I think obviously when it comes to the Guardians here, I think the biggest reason why they chose to go that direction, number one, the bullpen obviously at full strength. So they figure, hey, if we got to go to guys early, we have the horses, as they like to say. And Bieber, has never pitched on 3 days rest. So I think that is a big reason why as well. And I think, though, despite that,
Never like in the postseason?
just ever.
Really?
Yeah. He's only pitched twice in the postseason. And then I think, but from the Yankees side of things, listen, I mean, I think you could hit Bieber regardless, but I'll take Savali because I think that's a guy, you could make minced meat of. And, you speak of, having the bullpen at full strength. Obviously, the Yankees are in the same boat. So you look at a guy like Nestor Cortez, obviously, led the staff in ERA this year. So I think, that's why you go in that direction and, just like having the horses, you have a fully rested Herman, a fully rested Tyone if you need length. And then you have all your big guns, in the bullpen, in terms of Wandy, in terms of Holmes, in terms of Loaizaga. So I kind of think that's the strategy from the Yankees perspective, that if you could figure out a way to get 5 out of Nestor, even four good innings, you got plenty left in the bullpen to get you the rest of the way. What are your thoughts, Tony, on the way that the managers decide to set up their pitching after the rain out last night?
Well, honestly, for Cleveland, I like it. I feel like sticking with Savali, might be a better idea here. I mean, you mentioned Bieber not really ever pitching on short rest like that in 3 days. He also, historically isn't great against the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees typically own the Central Division, I think. Obviously, having some trouble here trying to put Cleveland away, but I think Bieber, not necessarily got a little lucky, but, pitched better than expected, I think, against the Yankees in his start here. So, I think maybe going with Savali to start, and again, your bullpen is full here. You could even go to Bieber out of the pen if you want for an inning. I feel that's something he could handle, but not putting the pressure of the start on him, I'm sure I think is better. Nestor, I'm a little worried about, to be honest. I mean, talk about someone who has, lack of postseason reps here and experience, and then someone who also talk about going, on short rest. Listen to Rothenberg. He said the last time that Nestor, only once in his career, he pitched on short rest, and it was earlier in the season against Detroit. Lasted 2 1/3, gave up 4 runs, a couple walks. Like, wasn't good for him. Although it was early in the season, and we've seen how his pitching progressed for the better. I'm sure that's the only thing we can kind of look at in terms of pitching on short rest for him. So, I mean, obviously, it's not something great to look at. So you're a little worried, I think. But I think regardless, I would think Nestor has a little bit more, I guess, weight to his name, honestly, at this point than Tyone does. I would imagine gets the lineup hyped, gets him hyped, gets the fans hyped that Nestor's going to be out there pitching for this last game of the series here. So, and I don't think he would really give you much more than Tyone would if the same whatever. And again, bullpens are still there, so I think all in all, it's not bad management decisions on either side. I think it's just good management decisions, and obviously we'll see how the game plays out tonight.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, like I kind of alluded to already, the reason behind this decision for the Yankees is the fact that Nestor has the ability to dominate.
Right.
Tyone, while it was a good season,
Mhm.
he has had way more spots than Nestor
Right.
has where he just doesn't have it and kind of blows up. So you just feel
Right.
like Nestor has
Mhm.
that uncanny ability to avoid the beginning.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the plan last night for Tyone to get to the lineup once and then bring the bullpen in there?
They
Right,
kind
basically?
of they kind of didn't necessarily allude, to what exactly the plan was. That there were some murmurs um about that. But yeah, and I think another thing too, and we've talked about this, and all of course, there's many different things behind it, but it stems from Nestor really having to fight for his spot in this rotation and to be an established big league starter. I think that just gives him some extra adrenaline to make it through today.
Oh,
And
yeah.
of course, you're going to be careful with him, but at the same time, I mean, I kind of think, I could easily see him going at least 5 innings if it's he's not allowing any damage and he's just mowing these guys down. I mean, why wouldn't
Right.
you do that? So it's definitely a take it, as it comes approach with him. And I think I mentioned this yesterday, but it was obviously in regards to when Tyone was on the hill. But Nestor gets into a situation, 3rd inning, 4th inning. Don't be shocked if the first guy to the pen is Loaizaga. You know what I mean? Because it just depends on the situation, and you just
Right.
have to avoid the big inning at all costs. So I think this is definitely going to be a matchup scenario, with the exception of, unless it's really dire, 8th inning, 7th inning, most likely Clay Holmes is reserved for the 9th. I would
Oh, yeah.
imagine that's the plan. And obviously we know every time Wandy's coming to the game, it's his first batter has been Josh Naylor. So I'm sure that's a matchup, they're looking to get late in the game as well. So I think they'll have a sound strategy no matter how it falls. And they were talking about this on Boomer and Gio, but the whole key for them to get through this game and make it to tomorrow is just offensively set the tone early. That'll not that Nestor's already gonna be very pumped up, but that'll really kind of give him even more confidence that he can get through this game and they can make it to the next level. So I think that's what you got to do from a Yankee perspective. And now given the rain situation, the change in the pitching matchup, the day of rest, you went with the Yankees yesterday. Are you sticking by that, Tony?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Obviously, the same goes here, as Prefer checks in and says hello.
Prefer.
But I guess the one thing I would just like to mention too, is, would you say, as far as the schedule of this series and what they did last night, I mean, this is the worst weather management, rest, inability to to adapt that you've ever seen from a professional league? With keeping the fans at the stadium for 4 hours last night before you call it 5 hours.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I really cannot think of anything that it was kind of, I guess similar to what happened last night and to how the schedule is panning out for the Yankees. And we talked about before the show. I mean, it seems like they had, oddly days off in between games 1 and 2, right? They had a day off.
Mm-hmm.
Games 2 and 3, day off too, I think, or
2 and 3 day off because of
was that the rain out? No, it was
no, there was 2 days off.
Game 3 got rained out, I thought.
Yeah.
Postponement. So were there 2 days off in between?
No. What it was is scheduled day off
on
Wednesday.
Right.
And then Thursday rained out. And then it's been
consecutive
before last night. That's what it was.
Yeah, so obviously it was just, I think, a weird schedule to begin with, and they kind of got screwed over by the rain. And like you mentioned, they tried to get and it's just like, why are you like teasing people? Because what the rain's. Oh, maybe there's a pocket at 10 o'clock of no rain. A pocket? What are you gonna play for 3 innings? Like,
and then how about Brian Cashman referring to the fans in the stands as customers? We didn't want our customers having to wait this long. We really thought there was no way we weren't going to play tonight.
Customers, dude?
It sounds like he's been talking to Hal too much.
It sounds like he should maybe, take a walk.
Sounds like he should shut the hell up.
Yeah, dude.
But
first says, let it rain. It cleansed the field for a Cleveland win. I placed a huge bet on the Guardians today.
So anyway, we'll see. 4:07, kind of an interesting start time. I know, obviously, the CS tomorrow, and they say, we don't want to give the, it's unfair to the Astros to push back the series another day. Like, it's a bunch of bull.
Is it?
It's such
not.
And then we went over the schedule, and I guess we didn't talk about it with our listeners here. One off day for the CS starts tomorrow. So Friday would be the only off day. So you go games 1 and 2 off days, and then 3 through 7, if it goes 7 consecutively. I mean, I understand you're making up for lost time with the lockout, this, that, the other thing. But it makes no sense.
No sense at all.
I mean, and obviously with the teams left, the only things you would be concerned about, the Phillies versus the Yankees in the World Series,
that's
40-degree temperatures. I mean, well, if that's what it is, that's what it is. So it's just absolutely ridiculous that they cannot adapt. Annoys me with this late schedule. It's just an atrocious job.
Stupid.
But that's what we're left with. And speaking of, the Phillies, they begin their NLCS in San Diego against the Padres. And we have a matchup of former Cy Young Award winners in Yu Darvish and Zach Wheeler. This one, 803 from Petco, San Diego. Slight favorites here at -125. Total set at 6.5 in terms of the offense. So what are you expecting to see in this one?
Absolute pitcher's duel. As well as some good defense being played, I think. I'm thinking, honestly, both of these pitchers go at least 7 innings tonight. Bottom of the 8th. Soto shot. Top 9. Hader closes out. San Diego takes game 1, 1-0.
1-0. Wow.
That's right, dude. 1-0.
Didn't expect that one.
Expect it now.
I feel like we have, I probably would have taken San Diego, but just because you're taking them,
you don't have to always be like, oh,
yeah, I kind of want to. Like the finish on this puppy. I mean, it was a good helmet. This is one of those rare times I know the bite right away.
Yeah, it was very rare, dude.
But anyway,
is it a bite, Tony? Is it a bite?
I think it'll be a pitcher's duel early, but there'll be more than one total run.
Little bit of an oddball.
There'll be more than one total run. Brian scored in the game, and I want to say Phillies in this one 4-2. Harper go ahead 2-run homer.
Oh, you're so high on
top
Harper.
Of the
dude.
8th inning. Probably should have been in New York.
No.
But
Would
anyway,
not have blasted,
Tony,
dude. Getting booed, no way, dude.
I think despite it being a matchup of 80-ish win teams here, I think there's a lot of star power, and
oh yeah,
I think it'll be a compelling series. And,
Oh,
fortunately, for the fans of those teams, they get Joe Davis and John Smoltz versus, obviously for this game for the Yankees, Ron Darling and Bob Costas. Obviously, Brian Anderson.
do you have something against Bob?
If you didn't catch the reel from yesterday.
Oh,
But probably my favorite reel, I think, of
Really?
all time that's been made on this show. Yeah.
wow. That says a lot, dude.
I don't know. I just feel like I hit it on the head. I would love it would, obviously, like,
You want Bob in studio?
no, I want Bob to just listen to it and I would just love to hear what he would say. The arrogance, Now, did you ever say hello to Bob?
No.
But did you pass by him?
No, never saw him.
Never saw him.
Never saw him.
You didn't have to chop up Studio 42.
Thank goodness, no.
Did you know anybody that had to, or that had interactions with him?
Yeah. Some of the higher soups, the producers, they had
Did they talk
interactions with
any
them.
like smack about him or
No. You gotta be careful with that, dude.
Bob's got the place bugged.
Yeah, dude. Got a lot of pull over there too.
Oh man. Yeah. So hopefully, we'll get some exciting games today, and hopefully tomorrow. We're sitting here previewing a Yankees and Astros American League Championship Series for the third time in the last 6 years. What a series that would be once again. But obviously you got to take care of business here. 407 from the stadium. Let's go Yankees. But for now, let's go to the world of the National Football League.
6 for 101, 2 touchdowns. To Evans, touchdown, Tampa Bay.
How about that throw?
Sam Darnold blasted. Oh my goodness, did he take a hit?
In trouble once, brings him down. Lost one. Odell Beckham Jr. Got it down. Touchdown.
All right. But
first says, did you see Governor Phil Murphy, who was the governor of not Connecticut, New Jersey, congratulating the Phillies and Eagles wins on Sunday, but ignored the Jets and the Giants?
No, and I don't know.
Phil Murphy is for governor of New Jersey. Okay, I thought so.
No, but I'm saying, like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but it's also like, well, I mean,
no. I'm saying I was just looking up the broadcast team, so they're actually bringing Ron. Okay, so Frank Core did the first round with Brian Anderson, and now they're making it a 3-man booth.
Really, dude?
With Anderson, Darling, and Frank Core. Shahadi, still on the field.
Love Lauren Shahadi.
Yeah, she does. She does a good job.
I bumped into her at the network.
Yeah, always was cordial.
Very down to earth. Very cordial. Yes.
But I think it'll be different because it's a pre and post. I actually do think for the ALCS, it will be kind of funny to see Bob Costas talk to Jimmy Rollins, Pedro Martinez, and Curtis Granderson. Who do you think will give off the most negative energy?
Curtis Granderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like just complete, like, I don't even want to hear your voice. Like he'll say something, like Bob will say something to him, and he'll just like not, just go on to the next thing.
I feel like we never talked about this before we get to last night's game. With Curtis Granderson, obviously had some success with the Yankees, then went to the Mets.
Yeah.
What was your overall, take on him in his Met tenure?
I liked him a lot. I mean, obviously, he brought some spark to the lineup. He has that speed, the quick bat. It seemed like he was almost like like an old timer type of baseball player. I thought he was great. Obviously, he had some lack of success sometimes, but I mean, I think overall his Met career was good, and I feel like the fans loved him. I think he was very well liked for the Mets, right?
Yeah. No, I agree with all of that. I just, I'm big on the numbers, and I just thought there would have been like 140 home run season, because I think he had 2 with the Yankees. I don't know if, as Boomer would say, maybe it was because they haven't moved the fences in in right field, with those long fly balls.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I always thought he was a class guy, and yeah, he was a couple of years. I mean, man, it was tough to get him out.
We do have
Anyway,
a couple comments here. One from Prefer, Bob Costas, a Hall of Famer broadcaster. The sad part about it is I'll probably get into it. And then we have a comment from somebody new. Derpy Gaming says MLB interfering and helping with their old pals, the Yankees.
so I don't
because of
know if
money.
he's alluding to like Nestor being able to pitch today.
Do you think that's why? But I mean, it rained last night. Like, well, you're saying it wasn't raining that bad, right?
I mean, what did you think?
I don't know. It's very. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, I feel like any type of rain affects the level of play, and it's a game 5. It's the postseason here. You don't want any, pitcher complaining about loss of grip on the ball or bats flying. Like, you want people to be playing their best baseball without really having much, I guess, outside interference from the elements. I mean, the baseball isn't really.
But it was clear by 10:15. You're telling me that.
Oh, so then you wanted them to play at 10:15.
I mean, after
Right.
you've already
Waited
put
that
everyone
long?
through it, and then does this really help with the Yankees? Because hopefully they win today, and if they do, I mean, who the hell is pitching tomorrow?
That's true, I suppose. But
What
mean,
would you do? I know you can't, look ahead, but Sevy would be 3 days rest, and then Cole will be fully rest, or actually Cole will be fully rested. No, it would be 3 days rest the following game. So I mean, do you just do that, or do you think you go Tyone or Herman and then Cole on 3 days rest game 2?
Obviously, I'm definitely keeping Nestor as is right now.
Right.
And, depending on how he does, how much bullpen I'm using, maybe I'll start Cole.
Game 1?
Yeah, dude.
On 2 days rest.
Absolutely. He said he's ready to go.
The thing
He said he's ready to go, dude.
I know you're questioning it, and all the analytical nerds out there would spit out their coffee, but I guarantee you, especially in Houston, he hates the Astros with a passion. He would pitch, honestly, probably a similar game to that complete game shutout he had. I think it was 2 years ago in Houston.
He probably would
on
do.
2 days rest. I mean, Garrett Cole is a gamer.
But much like Derpy, I guess, as Prefer says, hey Derpy.
But
or Derpy.
I just, as long as, jeez, I mean, you don't think there's any chance though that Costas doesn't get in the Hall just because of all the negative stuff? Because it's not just now, Tony. Not everybody was in love with Bob Costas going back 15, 20 years.
Are you sure? I'm telling you, dude. He doesn't get it.
I just don't want him to win the Ford Frick Award, So last night, Monday Night Football, and is it the curse of the Broncos? Is it the curse of Nathaniel Hackett? Is it the curse of Russell Wilson?
I kind of forgot we went to the World of Football.
Tony, anytime. I think this was the 4th primetime game for the Broncos in 6 games. They're 2-4 after losing 19-16 in overtime last night, but anytime they're involved in a game,
snooze fest.
I would actually love to see the parallels that Bob Costas would have for this game, and what quirky things he would say to describe.
That's what he should be doing. He should be doing Amazon Prime games. That's what he really should be doing, honestly. Yeah, studio. Yeah.
No, I'm sure him and Richard Sherman will get along very well. Dude. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there was a lack of bite. A lack of juice in this one last night. And I'm sure a lot of that, or not a lot of it, but some of it had to do with the anticipation of what was going to happen with game 5 of the American League Division Series.
Oh, yeah.
But just after a good start, a good first quarter start, I mean, another ho-hum performance from this Denver Broncos offense. Russ is under 200 yards. He throws 1 touchdown. Again, missing the open receivers, not looking to the open receivers. So it's just he's got talented weapons. And his only touchdown was to Greg Dulcich. And here he is. He's got Cortland Sutton. He's got Jerry Jeudy. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, back to what you were saying about the Broncos and having these special games going on. I was watching it with Jay last night. He couldn't believe. He was like, "Why are the Broncos getting Thursday night, Monday night?"
Oh, because it was We got Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Paid him a king's ransom.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna be Super Bowl contenders. We haven't had a quarterback since Peyton Manning.
Why?
As Bob Costas
And they
would
have
say.
a London game.
Wait, how do you say Manning? Honestly,
It's Peyton Manning.
so but no, it is.
It is.
But I don't know. He's the only one that sticks out.
Manning.
That says Manning. Does anybody else say Manning?
I don't think so. And I would like to ask what Peyton or the whole Manning family thinks about it.
There's
really.
no way it's Manning.
Oh my God, Manning. And there's no way everyone else would be saying Manning when it is Manning.
Yeah, no way.
Bob is just putting the emphasis, just putting the emphasis. Dude.
Oh man, yeah. Me and Matt in college used to crack up because we were watching Sunday Night Football. When Costas used to be the host and the interview guy, and he was like talking to some quarterback, and he goes, do you consider it's pretty impressive right now that you look at you and you're on a list with Manning, Brady, Rodgers, Manning.
Oh my God.
The quarterbacks. Just too funny. But yeah, so I think that was back to what we were saying though. I mean, that was the reason why they thought Russ would elevate everyone.
So stupid, dude. It's so stupid. I mean, he's horrible.
But he's banged up.
Right.
But also, I mean, Nathaniel Hackett, we spent yesterday talking about Bob Costas. I think we could have a whole day talking about Nathaniel Hackett. You think about his ineptitude as head coach after 2 games. He brings in a decision maker to help him on game days with going for it.
What does that mean?
Punting, with timeouts, just that, whatever that means, that type of stuff, to get help with that. So that showed obviously the inconfidence he has in himself. So that, and then the fact that every game, they're under 20 points. They can't score. Russ is dealing with a hammy now. And if he's not able to go next week against the Jets, they're going to start Brett Rippon, former, son of former Redskins quarterback Mark Rippon, who I believe started the Super Bowl. But, no experience. And if that is the case, I mean, this could be a 20-point blowout for the Jets. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be better because Russ looks lost. He's got the hammy. He's got the shoulder injury. I mean, is there any hope for the Denver Broncos today?
No. They're not going to win another game of the season. I don't even think, dude. They're trash. Rush is going to be gone. They're going to be in a total rebuild. I mean, obviously,
Russ is going to be gone, though. $265 million, he's going to be gone.
I mean, they have to look for a new quarterback. They have to.
But you're just going to pay a guy $200. I think it was guaranteed $150 million. I mean, that's
Really?
at least 3 seasons of guarantees.
Right. All right. So, I mean, I guess you still draft a QB. You put him behind Russ. Having in that learning stage, of the season, Russ has things to offer young guys, I'm sure. But 2 years, probably with 1 year left on his contract, he's backing up that young kid probably. As Derpy Gaming says, no hope at all for the Broncos. Agree with that. And he has one comment here I'm going to read off for you in regards to the Yankees. I respect the Yankees to somewhat of a degree because of the game of baseball. I do not respect your fan base, however, very spoiled and ungrateful, winning 27 rings, regardless if it's been a while since you won that at all.
I'm trying to think about how I can have a cordial answer to this, Tony. But I guess what I would say is the reason why, in all due respect, that doesn't make any sense is just because if you don't want to win, then you're not really a fan and you're not really into the team. There's nothing about being grateful for the past. The past doesn't matter. It's about right now. The goal is to win every year. And there's no goals that are less than that are acceptable. And that's just it. I mean, if you settle for less, then that means that deep down you're not a winner. And I would say that almost reminds me of a Met mentality, but it's been changed this year, with Cohen, with Scherzer, with Buck. You know what I mean? It's like, that's like you appreciating this season, Tony. There is no appreciation there because it didn't end with hosting or hoisting that commissioner's trophy. I mean, there's no in between. And I mean, maybe I would think it would be somewhat acceptable if you're a team that, has lost 100 games 5 years in a row, and then you get excited that you finish 500 or you make it to the wild card round. Sure, I'll give you that. But when you have a team, year in, year out, that's capable of winning a World Series, you're not going to accept anything less. So that doesn't make you spoiled. That makes you passionate, and that makes you only expect the best, because what are you playing for?
No, that's a good answer.
Anything from Prefer
Yeah,
here?
but first says Brian said Yankees winning 27 rings makes them the best, but Bob Costas, the Hall of Fame Yankee of broadcasters, but Bob Costas is the worst. Who's bipolar today?
You know what, Prefer? He definitely already follows the Funhouse account, on Twitter, making fun of Francesa. But this is the Francesa strategy when it comes to Prefer. He thinks I'm gonna erupt about something like that. It's like, Prefer. I mean, I think it's as simple as saying, who said anything about Bob Costas being compared to the Yankees? I mean, nobody said that. So that doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, Tony, you know it as well as I do. This sport, it's all about winning, and that's got to be the priority. So, like I said, I mean, do you agree, just generally speaking, that if you're a passionate fan and you settle or accept anything less than winning, that you're not really a true fan?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Because right now, if I asked you about something positive about this year with the Mets, I mean, could you really give me anything deep down? I mean, you have to have so much negative feelings about the way it ended. I mean, there's no reason. There's no way you don't.
I would say that Lindor had a positive season.
But you're not excited about that. It doesn't excite you at all.
Now I'm not excited. No.
Well, there you go. So, hey, people will try. They will try to come at me, and let's just say it's not going to happen. All right, you know what I mean? Come at me with something intelligent, something factual. I'll entertain it. But this rhetoric, and I feel like there's a maybe some collusion going on with Prefer over here.
Right?
You never know what he just tries so hard, Prefer, and it's like, it's just as I would say, when Pooch tries to mess with me too much, it's just you've lost a little bite off the fastball, Prefer. All right. So Tony, I mean, what do you think in regards to the Chargers here? I mean, not impressive win.
None at all.
Herbert doesn't throw a touchdown. I mean, Austin Eckler had a rushing touchdown, and actually, 10 catches receiving, but only for 47 yards. I mean, do you just take, are you just happy that you're tied for the lead in the division and it's a new season from this point on with the 11 games left?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Herbert, I think, could be looking better. I think he threw an interception last night. I thought play calling could be a little bit better. I think they were 1 for 4 or 1 for 3 on fourth down conversions. Obviously going for it in this tight game here. But you would really just expect the Chargers just to have more offense here, just in general. And not to point fingers at one person, but it's got to start with Justin Herbert for sure. He's just got to throw better. I understand, 188 yards, over 28 pass attempts. I don't know, dude. It's just not. I feel like last year he was just so much better. I don't know if it was just adrenaline or being on that roll, but he's got to find himself a little bit here. I feel like, although the Chargers are sitting good 4-2, Herbert needs that little extra spark in him, I feel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sounds kind of dull.
I don't know. I mean, we know he got banged up earlier in the season. If he's still nursing those injuries, but definitely something to keep an eye out for. And, just some other housekeeping notes here. They did announce Marquise Brown with that foot injury out 6 weeks.
Gentleman Jack.
So in reaction to that, and with exchanging some draft picks, the Arizona Cardinals have acquired former Jet receiver Robbie Anderson, a guy we talked about yesterday. So he'll fill those shoes for the 2-4 Cardinals, who are right back to it, after that disappointing loss to Seattle this weekend with the Thursday night matchup against the Saints. So, you talk about two teams nursing injuries. However, the Cardinals will welcome back all-pro receiver DeAndre Hopkins.
That's huge.
So that will be a big boost. And then, Anderson can slide in as the number 2 receiver there. And, it'll be interesting to see before this trade deadline, who else will leave Carolina. And it was kind of funny, too. Remember I was talking yesterday about Coach Steve Wilks, about how he's trying to be the tough guy with Robbie Anderson. Well, the owner of the Carolina Panthers said, in order for him to keep this job permanently, he needs to see something spectacular. So,
wow,
kind of a shot thrown right at him. And I mean, hey,
rightfully so.
They didn't step up in that game. This is his audition. This is his opportunity. He didn't step up. And then, on the other side of things, the Saints still banged up. Is Michael Thomas going to miss yet another game? Olave banged up as well, and Jarvis Landry. So questions about who's going to play in that one. Will Andy Dalton get another start? I mean, Jameis Winston active as the backup last week, still nursing those back injuries. But I would think they go with Jameis, so that'll be the Thursday night game. So, I mean, Tony, is it just me, or is it going to be here we go again? I mean, does that not read 19-12, 17-13, 16-10, right? I mean, is that what we're going to see?
Here we go again,
Thursday
Brian.
night? James Conner missed last week. Looks like he won't go again, so it'll be Benjamin at running back.
Oh, yeah.
But really, these primetime games have been brutal. And I did see something like, just in terms of, scoring, fantasy, kind of the same thing, but fantasy scoring down like 30% from last season. So these offenses are struggling to score. And I think, part of that is personnel, is injuries, but also inept coaching. Obviously you think Nathaniel Hackett, and to an extent, Cliff Kingsbury, as well as, just some dysfunction, on the team.
Yeah.
And I believe we have a couple other comments.
Yeah, actually, Derpy coming in here I'd say when Justin got hurt, that's what I believe when he lost his spark and edge. Also saying how the Chargers look good until people got hurt. Derpy, are you a Chargers fan, or you just yeah?
This is like Buffer on a burner, I think.
I don't think so, dude.
Buffer has his nose up this. You know what's interesting with Buffer too? The reason why I know he's up to no good is because anytime I make these call outs, the voice scrambler, collusion, all that, he never even answers.
Yeah.
I mean, why not defend yourself?
That's true, dude. But what do you think? You think Justin is gonna have what it takes here to kind of I guess re-spark it, dude?
I mean, there's always a spark's always around the corner. And I mean, especially Justin Herbert,
young,
he's talented.
Yeah.
He's got weapons. So I think they'll be fine. And like I said, it's a league-wide thing. It's not just them. You think about what Rodgers is going through in Green Bay.
Oh, he's so trash.
Just to give an example. So I think they'll be just fine. And just to be important moving forward, tied with the Chiefs through 6 games. I mean, I think going into this season, you would have signed up for that. So it's just going to be, what do they do in these next few games? You got Seattle, Atlanta, San Francisco, and the Chiefs. So really kind of a tough schedule.
Yeah.
Atlanta and San Francisco on the road as well. So, of course, we'll see what happens there. And like I said, a couple days away from that Thursday night football game between the Cardinals and the Saints. And obviously we'll talk about that on Thursday. But for now, Tony, let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by McCarr. He flattens Jordan Stahl. Oh, my goodness.
That's the top right back. Terrified and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliant
from Igor Shesterkin. It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
Has Costas ever done hockey?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? For NBC back in the day?
NBC, yeah, definitely. Before says paranoid. I never use burner accounts or voice scramble. So
Sounds
here he
a little
is.
sketchy though.
He's defending himself.
Yeah, but how many times do I have to call him out, Tony, for a response?
Yeah, well, maybe he just thinks it's so outrageous, it's not even warranted to get a response.
No. I just prefer. Hey, I'm just saying. Like I said, a little bite off the fastball. But yeah, so we didn't get, due to time constraints yesterday, and Bob Costas, we didn't have any picks for yesterday, but I did definitely want to recap last night's Rangers 6-4 victory, Tony, over the Ducks at home. So the Rangers with that 3-1 start, obviously that disappointing game with the backup tender over the weekend in Canada, but they do bounce back here. And obviously 6 goals. You love to see that. You love to see Vincent Trocheck, making an impact early.
Let's go,
goal and
baby.
assist. You look at Zibanejad with 2 goals, 4 goals through the Rangers' first 4 games. So is he going to have a Chris Kreider-like season this year? Capo, with his second goal of the season as well. You look at Lafreniere getting on the board, the bread man with his second goal. So scoring up and down the lineup. We did see Vetrano, now in the Ducks in a revenge spot with his second goal of the year. And then Igor Shesterkin, allowing 2 third-period goals to make it, 4 goals scored against him over the course of 22 shots. So, obviously offense good. Is there any part of you, as Gallant alluded to after the game, he said, happy to win, but I do not want to be giving up 4 goals. I don't want to win like this. I mean, do you feel that way at all? Or would you tell Gerard to sit down?
Oh, no. I would certainly not tell him to sit down. I mean, I think he has a right to, giving up 4 goals. Although, look, Anaheim has a good team, with Zegras and Terry. And you mentioned, from the Rangers, they have Vetrano. Not to mention they picked up Ryan Strome as well as one of their centers. And then, Kevin Shattenkirk is defender of the team too, former Ranger as well. Shattenkirk, yeah.
Okay.
Older guy, but veteran defenseman here. And they have the young talent, they have speed in Anaheim here. So I'm not disgusted that they let up 4 goals here to the Ducks, because that could certainly happen. But I mean, hey, Gallant has a right to be, not complacent about it. He wants better defense. It's some of the goals shouldn't have happened. There were some times where there was just a man got to the net just undefended, basically. You saw Shesterkin have a lot of good saves off of rebounds as well. Sometimes he'd be facing 2-3 shots consecutively quickly, and it's, Shesterkin's still human. He's not going to block that every single time. So that was happening a lot. It was only a matter of time. They just need to have, defenders in the right positions, forwards defending from the right positions as well. There was just a few times where our defenders were caught deep in the offensive zone, trying to play puck around the boards. It gets by them. All of a sudden, Anaheim has an odd man rush. And I think that points to, a bigger thing in what I've mentioned before, where, the Rangers 5-on-5 play isn't great. Last night they were, I think, 3 for 4 on the power play. Their special teams are phenomenal. They have great chemistry. That first line, with Kreider, Panarin, and Zibanejad, they work magic on the ice. It's beautiful watching them move the puck when they're on the power play. When they have that time and space, they take it, they utilize it. But again, 5-on-5 could be a little better. And like I said, I said it last season in the postseason all the time. Good shifts start with big defensive stops. That generates offense in the opposite end of the ice. So, having poor defense, letting up goals, it's Anaheim shot themselves in the foot a little bit here with their penalties. So some games may not be scoring 6 goals. You know, I think all of Anaheim's goals were on even strength, I believe. Yeah, I think they were 0 for 1 on the power play last night. So, you got to be careful with that.
But basically, it seems like you're alluding to the fact that if anybody was snoozing at the end of this game, it was the Rangers defense, not Igor. Is that what you're saying? That you're saying they put him in bad situations, so he doesn't really deserve any blame here? Or?
I mean, it's not that you don't deserve any blame. I mean, letting up a goal is letting up a goal. But it's just like there's everyone to blame. It is defense. It's snoozing. It's Shesterkin a little slow. Or Shesterkin out of position. Yeah, he's got puts in tight spots, and but I mean, hey, Shesterkin is at this point expected to make those saves. 90% of the time, I would say, maybe even higher. But yes, I guess I would put some more blame on the defense. Sure.
And Preferred says he won't stoop to Brian's level by responding. It's ridiculous. So basically, he's pulling one out of Francesa's book there. You sit on the phone for 4 hours to do this. When they're saying like, how could Judge win the triple crown? He's not a horse, like a comment like that.
I wonder, do you think Prefer's a big Francesa fan?
I know he listens to the Mike Francesa.
I mean, you
podcast.
got it, right? I mean, you're a Yankee, you're a Met fan, you're from New York, like.
And just to see if Prefer's listening, Prefer, did you listen to after, I guess it would be game 4, the Francesa podcast, when he actually did, in fact, rip Bob Costas? I'm just curious if you heard that one. So if you could just let us know. I'm here to support Tony. He's cool.
He's cool, he says.
See, now Tony is at question here for some collusion.
Brian, boo, Brian. How dare you?
Yeah, I heard
I heard Mike rip Bob Costas.
Okay, so that's the thing. It's so ridiculous.
Mike Francesa.
You're a disciple of Mike Francesa, and here you are. He's ripping Bob Costas. Yeah. So I find it hard to believe that you don't agree with him. I think you're just saying stuff. But anyway, Tony, decent slate tonight. Just to update everybody, I've just been on a roll lately. I feel like with the picks, so I did have Denver with that +4.5 last night. So I do pick up another point there. So right now, we have a 20-12 advantage in my favor.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll give you 3 games tonight. Obviously still having the baseball picks plus these 3 NHL picks. So if you would start out with your first selection.
Okay, sure. I'm going to ride the high of Anaheim here. They're going to be in New Jersey tonight. I'm sure they're pretty pissed off about it being at the Prudential Center, but they're playing the New Jersey Devils, who don't have a win yet this season. I understand it's only the 3rd game, but they're 0-2. They're not looking great. We talked about last year how young they are. It's gonna take some time here. Season just started. I'll give them like a 5-game buffer zone until they start some type of winning streak. And again, Anaheim scoring 4 goals against the Rangers last night. They showed that they can have good offense. Against a good team, and the Devils are not that. So I would say Anaheim can take this game. Maybe 3-1, 4-1, 4-1. Let's go 4-1.
Wow. I actually might have picked the Devils just because, a lot of hype going into this year. Michael's always been a fan, and we know, all about the young talent.
I mean,
Jack Hughes.
Their goalie situation is tough, and a lot of times their defenders leave their goalie out to dry, and they just don't have Mackenzie Blackwood. I don't think so, bud. They need a better goaltender.
Wow.
Blackwood.
You don't know who he is, dude.
What?
Yeah.
He's going to lead the league in saves like Brodeur.
Yeah, dude. 0-2. Wow, dude.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, Tony, so you take the Ducks.
Who are you gonna take, dude?
Take a team.
Oh, no.
That is.
It's the Oilers, isn't it?
No, was strong last year. Has some new guys leading the way. Oh, geez, excuse me. Leading the way.
Rothenberg over here with the burp, dude. Yeah.
Leading the way. In the names of Jonathan Huberdeau and Kadri. Obviously stepping in here as the leaders of this team. And I just feel like against Vegas, the Golden Knights, I think they're just a better team, and I expect them to finish quite high here in the Western Conference. So give me the Flames. Let's say a lot of scoring here. Coutry does his, helps out on the defensive end, and let's say 5-2 Flames over the Golden Knights.
5-2 Flames over the Golden Knights. It's a pretty interesting take, I would say, from you, but we'll see, dude. All right, my next pick here. I think I'm gonna go. I already picked against the Devils, Michael. I don't know how much do I really. Oh, geez, Columbus and Vancouver, battle of the 0-3 teams. Why
take
not,
the
dude?
Jackets. I know you want to.
No, I'm not taking the Jackets. I'm taking the Canucks, baby. It's not Elias Peterson. Who do I like on that team? Doesn't matter. But Quentin Hughes as well. Decent here. He has 3 goals in the season. Sorry, 3 assists in the season. Peterson has 2 goals and 2 assists in the season. Columbus here, I know they have Nyquist. But I think the Canucks, bye, Mike.
Michael. Huge Hall of Famers on the way. Incoming. He knows it. Preferred doesn't.
All right, give me Vancouver. Battle of the 0-3 teams. Obviously, someone's coming out of this game with a win. Love to see that. Give me Vancouver. I know they're away in Columbus, but the Blue Jackets, talk about lack of juice. They're put at -105 right now. I mean, you look at the Blue Jackets. Look at their roster, dude. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, they have Nyquist, decent. Johnny Gaudreau, they got right. Obviously, very good. Jacob Voracek. I mean, the man's 33 years old. I don't see it anymore. Their defense, goaltending. I don't know, dude. I think they're gonna be 0-4 after tonight. Give me the Canucks here. I would say Gaudreau can score 2, but the Canucks as a team scores 4. So Canucks 4-2, Brian.
Yeah, Brian. So
JT Miller, think about that.
You know what I think?
What do you think, dude?
Jay Woodcroft, coach of the year this year. Edmonton Oilers, Tony. Tonight, 7-1 over Buffalo. Kane 2, McDavid 2, Draisaitl 2. You are going to see an offensive explosion in Buffalo tonight as the Oilers rebound from that disappointing loss to Calgary in their last game. And I think Jack Campbell, makes a statement, says, I was an all-star for a reason last year in the Eastern Conference. And I, just once like Patrick Waugh, will be the starting goalie for the Western Conference this season.
Okay. I think my last game, I'll take the Lightning here. They're playing the Philadelphia Flyers. And although the Flyers are 2-0, they beat the Devils their first game. They did beat Vancouver, I think, 2 days ago. But I think Tampa Bay in Tampa, not off to the hot start here. I think they lost their first 2 games, and then they actually beat Columbus, then they just lost to Pittsburgh. They lost to the Rangers. So, I don't know. I think they're going to have a vintage Tampa performance here from their offense. And just like I said with the Rangers, where it should start, I think it's going to start on defense in the brick wall they have in Victor Hedman and Andrei Vasilevsky. I think Vasilevsky here pitches his first shutout of the season. Tampa Bay wins this game 3-0.
Love the pick. Honestly, I would have taken it if it was still on the board. So I'm going to take the Senators. You said Ottawa, big year this year. They're going against the Bruins, who I think are a little ahead of themselves. So give me Ottawa here. Giroux, now that he's out of Philadelphia, will go 2 goals and an assist. 3-0 Senators over the Bruins in Ottawa.
We'll have to see it. Is that it for the? That's it, right?
Yeah. Not a huge slate. here, but let me just mark this down. So we got the Senators.
Make sure you mark it down correctly.
And
That's too
then-
high.
And then, one more time, Tony. Your last one.
My last one was the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Lightning. But yeah, I like that spot. I think even though your guy John Tortorella does have the Flyers playing well, I think Tampa definitely a step up.
And I think Tortorella's due for a nice post game interview where he's just telling reporters to shut the fuck up. Okay.
Yeah. Now I know you're always very, defensive of Buffer, but do you do you think he's actually being serious in his last comment? Not that's too high, but the one before that.
I like Bob. He's a Hall of Famer because he's funny, smart, and likable. I mean,
Come
listen,
on, Tony. You don't smell a little bit of a rat there.
I honestly could see. Let me just get this up here. I honestly could see how people could be a fan of him, thinking he's likable. You can't argue with the guy. He does know his baseball. He is smart. Is he funny? I don't think he's funny. Do I like him? I don't really like him. I could see again, I think there are fans of Bob Costas out there. They enjoy,
but they want to be lectured on baseball.
Yeah,
watching a
they
playoff
enjoy
game,
the lecturing.
season on the line, and they want to hear about Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, the guy can fill time and get poetic about it. So, some people like that.
If he was calling the Mets playoff series, would you mute him or no?
Probably, I guess.
And he just kept talking about Tom Seaver.
Yeah. Nolan Ryan. I remember when Nolan Ryan was first picked up by the Mets.
Oh man. So it's time for something we haven't done in a little while.
Yeah, baby.
It feels like the PRIZM pack reveal. The PRIZM pack reveal. So just because we've been a little
get some music. Do we have music?
Can we get some music?
You honestly want some music, dude?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, dude, I got you. Hold on 1 second. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we'll do it, dude. Why not? Keep it at your day, dude. Keep it light.
All right, so we're gonna go 2 packs. Since
Let's
it's
go,
a minute.
baby.
First one, clean rip. By the way,
Love it.
So first one we have from the Oklahoma City Thunder, Alexei Pokovetsky. So a rookie year or second year guy gets on the board, 53 pointers last year as a 7-foot forward here. So some versatility. So a guy with some potential. So we'll take it.
7 feet. Holy shit.
We have a repeat card and a good repeat card. So we know Michael will be pumped up for this one. From the University of Georgia, Anthony Edwards. So another Edwards card to add to the collection. And number 3 here, one of Michael's all-time favorite New York Knicks, Evan Fournier, setting the 3-point record last year, shooting about 10%. So another all-time New York Knick. And the last one here, and Michael will absolutely love this one, from the University of Southern California, Evan Mobley. I believe this is our second Mobley card as well. So the young talent seems to be making its way into our collection. And we'll go one more pack here. Wrong side. Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow. Here we go. This. Oh, let's see. What do we got here? All right. From the Milwaukee Bucks, Jordan Nwora. So he, let's say, I think he's a 3rd-year player. So up and coming, trying to learn what he can from Giannis. So obviously this guy with some potential there. From the Denver Nuggets, Marcus Howard. So another younger guy looking to make his way up the ranks. I cannot believe the last 2 cards, the way we're ending this. Michael, this might be, if we think about Edwards in the last pack and we think about the last 2 guys of this pack, Michael, I think, will attest this is our best back-to-back packs we've ever seen. From the University of Kansas and the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid.
Wow,
No
dude.
introduction needed for Mr. Embiid. So a great pull there. And a different type of card in terms of it. It says dominance on it. And a guy that Michael is kind of seesawed on with the Knicks, but is anticipating a big year, maybe, in hopes of unloading him, sooner rather than later, but full confidence as of now from the University of Kentucky, Julius Randle.
Whoa.
So a different kind of
dude.
card, the dominance card. So I think all in all, Michael has to be pretty astute, Tony. I feel like it's the second time there. No, but pretty ecstatic. I know I said it, the same situation. But anyway, with these pools, I mean, right? I mean, you think about Embiid and Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle to go along with Evan Mobley. I mean, that's 4 out of 8, like pretty strong picks there.
Michael's jumping up and down somewhere, dude.
Somewhere, somehow, some way. But that does it for the picks, the pools. All we have left, Tony, is a pivotal Game 5 matchup.
Oh my goodness.
Bob Costas on the call from Yankee Stadium here in the Bronx. You got practice tonight?
Yeah. I know.
What time?
It was 7:30.
Oh, you do? You don't? You do?
I do.
Oh, but the game will be over. Are you going to watch the game? You have any plans in the afternoon to watch it?
Yeah. Watch it here.
You're going to watch it here?
Yeah, I got it, right? I'm working.
Working. Mute. Or you want to hear Ron?
I'll hear Ron. I'll start off by hearing Bob. What about you?
Mute.
Watching at work?
Nah, I'll try to make it back home before then.
Think you will?
Probably buzzer call. But first has screen time today.
Yes. My mother also says hi, but first says hello to my mother. And but first says screen time today. You effing know it, prefer. Manny should be here momentarily, actually, if he's not already outside in the vicinity with Michael. We're doing just your classic news update here. Type of screen time show. I know they just released a new teaser for a Christmas Story movie reboot. We're talking about that, going over the teaser. Are you a fan of the Christmas Story movie, Brian? Do you know what that is?
Off the top of my head, no.
That's like the old-fashioned Christmas movie with the little kid who wants the BB gun. Is you shoot your eye out, kid. You ever see that?
No.
With the leg lamp. The dad has that lamp of the, it says Fragile in the box.
Is that like the Polar Express?
It's not animated. No, it's a live action movie. It was made in like, I don't know, maybe the 90s, late 80s. And
Hey,
it's like
all I'm
kind of
saying
like
is your mom seems to agree with me. Doesn't like Christmas Story.
my mother doesn't like it because it's not really like it's not a typical Christmas movie. It's kind of raunchy. It's like funny. It's like think of it like, you ever see Caddyshack?
Yeah.
Think of it like that type of movie towards Christmas. It's like for adults. It's not a kid's movie.
I've only seen part of it. Pooch is obsessed with quoting it.
Caddyshack or
No.
Christmas Story?
But I think the worst movie that's just not funny that he thinks is
Oh,
hilarious. No. Take a guess, Tony. Christmas movie.
Elf?
No.
Oh.
I know you're gonna think it's funny. I just know it. I know before.
It's not Fred Claus, is it?
No.
Kids movie or like
No.
Not
More
a
the
kids,
other direction.
adult Christmas movie. What is it?
Bad Santa. Not funny. Don't care. Nope. Not gonna do it. He quotes it day in, day out. And who's the guy that's in
Billy
it?
Bob Thornton plays Santa
Billy
Claus.
Bob, like go
So
back to the Bad
funny,
News
dude.
Bears.
No.
I just don't have the patience for it. I'm sorry. I just don't understand in our society, in this environment, Tony, how we just pay people to be goofballs, and that's funny. That's entertaining. To me, that sounds like open mic with Bob Costas. I just don't get it. And your mother says that's a terrible movie.
Bad Santa. Again, my mother likes Christmas movies for being Christmas and magical and stuff. Bad Santa is not under her repertoire of movies.
But could you just explain to me, Tony, to kind of just wrap up this conversation? Because I know we've gone back to it a lot.
What? Why is it funny?
No. But why is Goofy funny? Could you just explain that to me?
Yeah, but like Billy Bob Thornton isn't acting goofy in Bad Santa.
Yeah, but he with the one-liners, like, you know what I mean? It's like those are supposed to be hilarious. Like I don't get it. Why is that so funny?
Because it is
And
funny.
whoever the other main character is, like being all tight, like
The
why?
little person, his elf.
Yeah, why is that so funny? Oh, an elf's angry. That's so funny. Like, why is that funny?
Yeah, because they're asshole like robbers, and they're trying to take advantage of like kids and people, and they're trying to rob the mall.
What
and the
makes
kid's
that,
involved because the kid's so nice, and Billy Bob Thornton's just like a fucking scumbag to him. It's funny.
But why? Explain to me why.
Why is that funny? I don't know. Why does the sun shine, Brian? Okay. Why does the moon set?
Last question. You're not giving me anything there. But why Farrell dressed up like Buddy? Why is that funny?
I don't like Elf.
Okay. All right. At least we have some common ground there.
I think not that I don't like it. I think it's so wildly overrated. It's not my type of comedy because it's a little bit, not that it's too goofy, but it's just not. I mean, like Will Ferrell, like I think it's too much. There's like a love story involved. It's like family. It's like sweet. It's like it's not my type of comedy.
No, and it's like it's so funny that Buddy's dad is tight and like doesn't want to be his father. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
dude. Like, it's not tight, and it's like the whole like it's not that good.
Your mom's not a fan of Elf either. There you go. So I'm guessing she's a Christmas with the Cranks, or that's pushing it.
No, she's like Rudolph.
Polar Express.
She likes Polar Express, yeah.
Rugrats Christmas.
Rugrats Christmas, she probably will enjoy, but not that much. I'm telling you, like, she likes to watch Rudolph. She likes to watch the old school like claymation movies, or she likes to watch the Hallmark Channel Christmas movies, which are just like, oh my god, like just grab the toaster and get in the bathtub already, huh?
I don't get it.
What?
Why the toaster?
You never like? I guess you could use the hairdryer. You never heard of someone like you go
killing themselves?
Yeah, you plug it in the toaster and you turn it on and you just get in the tub.
I didn't think we were that type of show. Let's talk about something like that.
Oh my gosh, dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Oh man, but that is why, Tony. That is why. Don't
say it, Ant.
What is she talking about?
Say it, as in the kill yourself.
Oh,
thing.
kill yourself. No.
Oh my god.
But anyway, Tony, that's why
dude.
we leave the movie critiquing, Hollywood, all of those topics to you and Manny. You guys are the best. Obviously, it is just not my forte, but I have to say, you guys do an outstanding job day in and day out. And I really do appreciate today everybody tuning in and continuing
full of shit.
To comment, like, and subscribe, as well as checking out the archives.
What a show. What a life.
On the YouTube page, the merch at downtimetv.com. Everybody enjoy screen time. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the Yankee game. Let's go Yankees. And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.